Hey everybody, it's Jenny from Norman S. Wright. In today's NSW PEP Talks, we are going to talk about the basic components in the power path from utilities to the IT equipment. So let's get started. I'll probably do a separate video on the different power sources, but today we're just going to call it the utilities, and we're going to cover the components associated with the data center itself. So let's look at the path of the power once it's supplied to the data center. The first component you'll have after the power is landed on the site is the data center switchgear. Next, you'll have the uninterruptible power supply, the UPS, followed by the static transfer switch, the STS. Next, we'll have power distribution units, PDUs. Then we'll have bus bars or remote power panels, RPPs. Bus bars can be mounted overhead or under the raised floor of server cabinets, and RPPs might sit at the end of the rows or along a wall. Then the power goes into the racks themselves, where you'll have rack PDUs, and the IT equipment will be plugged into that. Each step of the way, the power voltage is being stepped down, so it may come in at 4165 volts, and by the time it gets to the IT equipment, it's 120 volts. So there'll be transformers along the way as well, or many of these pieces of equipment will also have transformers inside them to step down the voltage. I'll go into more detail in future videos for each component, but let's look at what each piece does in general. The data center switchgear ensures efficient and reliable distribution of electrical power to the equipment. It consists of electrical switchboards, circuit breakers, transformers, and other protective devices, and they're all designed to regulate and control the flow of electricity. Let's move this up some. Uninterruptible power supply. The UPS is there to provide power to the equipment in case the power is interrupted. It's basically a battery backup, but it's designed to work for short periods of time, like seconds or minutes. Static transfer switch. The STS is a switch that diverts the data center load between different power sources, like the utility source and emergency power. Let's move this over to make more room. Power distribution units. The PDU, sometimes referred to as the floor PDU, is a device for controlling electrical power in the data center. It takes AC or DC power from the source and delivers it to the equipment. It distributes power during normal operation. The bus bars distribute power to the various rows or sections of server racks. Remote power panels. The RPP distributes electrical power to multiple rack PDUs. And the rack PDU is a PDU for controlling electrical power in the rack. They are designed to provide standard electrical outlets for data center equipment. They can be as simple as a large power strip or more complex with monitoring and remote access. Let's make a little bit more room. On top of these components, you would have some components that are there in case of loss of power. I mentioned that the UPS is designed to supply power for a short period of time in case the power source, the utility, goes down, but for longer term outages, you might have a generator or batteries connected here as well. Let's bring all of this back on screen. So these are the main components that make up the data center power system. I think now we've covered most of the data center thermal and power basics, so we'll start digging into more details in future videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.